Rainbow body? You all heard that rainbow body is a permanent state. Well, if it's permanent, then you can't get it and lose it. Permanent things don't come and go, aren't born and die. You already have rainbow body. Your focus is, however, not on your filaments, channels, sock, meridian, of which rainbow body is composed. Your focus is on phenomenon, meet, duality. Therefore, even though rainbow body is inherent in you, just as your own innate Buddha nature is inherent in you, you cannot actualize and perceive it due to clinging to the subtle concept of duality. Duality is really basic. It's the error that occurs in every single moment of thought. Every moment is based on an assumption. There's me, and I'm real, and there's all that stuff out there, and it's real too, and it's not me. Therefore, I have to relate to that stuff in one of three ways. I have to move towards it because I like it. I have to move away from it because I don't like it. Or I can safely ignore it because it does not affect me. And I am permanent and the center of my universe. This all goes without saying for all living beings. If you look under a microscope at bacteria, amoebas, single-cell organisms, and you drop a drop onto the slide of what their food is, something that they like, they all move towards it. And then if you drop a drop onto the slide of something they don't like alcohol, or some other noxious to bacteria substance, they all move away from it. And if you put a drop of something which is irrelevant to bacteria, like water, on the slide, they don't do anything about it. They ignore it. Not a big difference, is there, between us and them? I bet you they think they're real too. I bet you each and every one of them has a base assumption that it is the most important thing to itself in the universe. If you have a partner that you love, and you lose them, it's not them having gone on that causes you to grieve. It's your loss of whatever they usually gave you. Support, love, affection, no-eat, lunch. So we hold ourselves as the absolute center of our own universe. And we see space as spreading out from where we are, and time as spreading out from our now. And we construct linear dimensions for these things. We make that up. By thinking that this is not so, you will have absolutely no results. You'll just have another thought. You can think I am the center of the universe. You can think I am not the center of the universe. But both those thoughts are based on the assumption that you're talking about the I, the self, and there is a centerness to it. Even when you think I am not the center of the universe, you are still thinking about the I centrally. You are not thinking that bug is not the center of the universe. You are not thinking all living beings are not the center of the universe. And perceiving each and every one as their own center. That perception cannot be in fault, because there are too many of them for you to think about that way. Living beings are infinite, and they continuously interact, and they affect each other, and they change each other. You are being affected by my words. I am being affected by your presence and the sight of your face. In the teaching, this relationship is called samaya, in Tibetan dancing. Most of you think of dancing or samaya as a vow. It goes one way, I take a vow that I'm going to do this many mantras, that's my dancing. Nuh-uh. That's a part of it, or can be under some circumstances. But dancing and samaya speak of the relationship between student and teacher. It's a two-way street. Just as the teacher's words hopefully affect the student and draw their attention in directions that their attention has not gone in by itself. I'm using the word attention almost synonymous. Under these circumstances, let go of the need to think it. There are other ways of perception. Emma, once again, beloved sons and daughters, listen with devotion. Mind in its insubstantiality is like the sky. Is this true or false, this statement? Confirm it by relaxing completely and looking directly at mind. Gazing with your entire mind. Your attention is the focus of your awareness. Awareness is Rigpa. When the awareness is freed from a point of view, it becomes the absolute nature of Rigpa. When it is focused on a point of view, it is the relative form of Rigpa. Are you following this so far? You can't think your way out of this. The universe is bigger than you can conceive of. Think of galaxies. Think of how many planets there are in each galaxy. Lots. Think of how many beings, including the bugs, the microbes, there are on many of those planets. It would be silly to think this is the only one on which life evolved in an infinite, vast universe. These conditions which result in life, whatever you see them as, have probably happened any number of times throughout time and space. You can't even conceive of the number of living beings in this one world. Multiply it by the number of stars in the galaxy. Multiply it by the number of galaxies in the local group. Multiply it by the number of local groups in the far groups, big groups, and so on ad infinitum. The sheer volume of aliveness is inconceivable. Too big, you can't write that many zeros, you can't think that many zeros, even if you do it as a power of 10.